At what age do you intend to die? At the age of 90, 100, 120, or 150? If you want to live this long, it therefore means this video is for you. So sit back. Let's examine a few things about the question of having to live up to ripe old age. Hello, and welcome to Putting It Straight. I'm your host, Dr. Ntabest. Today we are examining the emotional topic that affects everyone on earth, living to ripe old age. But before we begin, let me ask, what age is really considered ripe old age? How can we live that long? What really is meant by long life? Are there implications for one who lives that long, beyond 70 or 80 or beyond that? Is it a wise wish or prayer to want to live that long? These are what we must examine now. Now pay close attention. Point number one is that of answering the question whether it is possible to live that long. The answer is yes. Why? Because so many things that used to cause our ancestors to die much younger are no longer there, at least in greater parts of the world. For example, there is improved health care, there is sanitation, there is better knowledge of nutrition, and the rest of them, better housing. So these things collaborate to make sure that our longevity is on the high side. The second point is, what actually does long life mean to you? State it. Let me share in your idea in the comment section what long life means to you. But as for me, this is how to approach it. Long life is something that has been predetermined, and we sometimes enhance it. No matter what we do, there is a range within which the majority of mankind must live. And beyond that, only a few. And that is shown in Psalms number 90, verse 10 to 12, where it is stated that the average life of man is 70 or 80. And if he has special mightiness, then he can live beyond that. But then there's a proviso. If you have this special mightiness, this special favor, special strength to live that long, it is not a comfortable life. It is one filled with pains, with sorrow, with all that. In this video, as we proceed, we are going to see if it is so. So, it is normal length of life is between 70 and 80, and up sometimes to 90. Beyond that is what is called very long life. Point number 3. Why do people really want to live long? What do you yourself have in mind when you desire to live very long life? Is it because others say it is good? Others want to live that long, so you also want to live to be very old? Generally, there are 2 reasons or so why people desire deeply inside of them to live long. You see, one, it takes long for a man, once he's born, to grow up, to acquire sufficient knowledge and skill to earn income and then to begin to enjoy. By the time you acquire sufficient money to enjoy, you will have gone past the first bar of age. You will have been on the 50 side. And so people desire to stay on to enjoy the fruit of their labor. On the other hand, we have very wealthy and rich people who have accumulated their millions all over the place. And it sounds scary to them that should they die sooner, then the wealth, the comfort, everything that they have accumulated will have passed on to others. And so they would desire to live long enough to enjoy this work of theirs. So this answer brings me to the next point. What are the implications for one to live that long life that everybody desires? To be able to live that long imposes some responsibility on the person who desires to live long. It doesn't come automatically. It's not everybody who wants to live that long that achieves it, as we can see with social proof, with every other thing around. So you have to do one of these, all of these, to be able to preserve your life. Perhaps you would live that long. One must take responsibility to prevent accidents or events that might cut short your life. Accidents and the rest of them, natural disasters. If you can have power over that, then, because floods kill people, thunder strikes people unannounced. So if you can avoid accidents, then you may be in line to live that long. Two, to be able to prevent sicknesses and diseases. Majority of people die as a result of sicknesses and diseases. And even the most healthy person eventually has to die from one natural sickness that comes out of old age to die. So the third is to lead a right lifestyle. When one lives a right lifestyle right from the beginning of his life, it is a guarantee that in the later years, one will have to enjoy a reasonable level of health. But if you lived a life that is filled with problems, you smoke, you drink excessively, and get involved in life that does not guarantee safety, very likely you cannot afford to live a healthy life in future, let alone live very long when you're old. Point number 3 or 4 is that this is a reality. The real key thing to what we're talking now is this point 4. The question, is it wise for one to pray to live long beyond 100 years? Is it really wise? I will explain why it may not be wise to want to live very long on the earth, to be very old. It may be wise to pray for God to enable one to live to reasonable old age, then die. Now let us face reality. Living a very long life is not a matter of wish. It's not a matter of prayer. That's not the issue. Rather, it has to do with the downside associated with having to live that long in old age. Now, this is the truth. Beyond the prescribed 70 to 80 or 90 years, there are problems. The life at that time is packed full of problems. And this is evidently very clear, very evident to those who have old relatives who have lived beyond 100. They see and know the reality that many people do not know. Now, this is it. Natural processes begin to switch off the moment you are beyond 90 into the 100 and beyond. Your eyes fail, the heart problems arise that make it impossible, if not just difficult, to enjoy the goodies that you may have accumulated. Many people, because of old age, cannot even descend from their beds. They have to be guided. Many people can't walk from their bedrooms to the parlor without being aided. Many can't hear. Many can't see. These things are inevitable. You can't avoid these ones. Experiencing this when you are old. The body functions begin to fail. Some switch off. Sickness become inevitable. Plus pains. This is when the billionaires discover that all the wealth they have, all the comfort they had accumulated to enjoy becomes meaningless. It has no taste. They can't even realize those things are there. because at this time they will become dry wood, vegetable. People turn them up, people sit them up, people feed, they don't even hear and can't see. What sort of life is that? So you become an object of terror to your grandchildren and great-grandchildren who see you and fear and scream, hey, I see, go see them. But what must also be noted is that at this level of your life, you become a liability, not only to the family who must provide the care, but also to the society, the government, because of much money that will have to be spent, particularly in communities that have old people's home, where people have to be paid to sustain run those services. Now, think about it. Is such life worth it? Those who live can't even be sure, can't know that they are living. Now, having seen and known what living long is, a very long life is, knowing the average lifespan where one can live comfortably, and the implications involved in living to be very old, do you still desire to live beyond 100? Let me know in the comment section. But if it has made meaning to you, this discussion, then like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel for more enlightenment. Meanwhile, rethink your beliefs and redefine your life. See you again.